the Olympics are crazy too, because you're playing 6 games in like 16 days, which is very different from a World Cup too. And it was just, yeah, you could feel it. And someone different stepped up every game, and which made it even more like the celebration even better, because it was just like such a team victory in so many ways. But yeah, it was like a very surreal experience.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I think this is a fun one. We've got so much to talk about. The Aces had their parade, which automatically makes this episode super fun because they were going absolutely crazy. We are going to blind rank. We're putting Megan through a blind ranking of the Las Vegas Aces t-shirts. Megan has had to travel back home a little unexpectedly, so she hasn't seen much of the coverage. So I'm excited to do this blind ranking.
I know.
I'm really excited.
I've really been like a little bit like offline.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's happening? I can't wait.
I know, it's like you're a Martian.
See.
It's like you're a Martian that just came down and we get to show you all of these t-shirts and see.
You guys, open the time capsule for me. Let me know what happened.
That's going to be fun. Real quick, since we're now also a baseball show, we did want to talk about how the Mariners sadly did not advance to the World Series. We both stayed up and watched that game. Tough. Man, I know the city would have been going crazy. So sad about that. The Blue Jays advanced, so congrats to them. They play the Dodgers. And something that stuck out to me that I just want to touch on real fast was, Ohtani is playing out of his mind. He just had some crazy game where it was like he hit 3 home runs. He struck out like 10 plus batters. I don't even know. I don't know the terminology, but I know it's insane. But something really stuck out to me. And you know what it was? It's that it seems when in men's sports, you have individuals have these like record-breaking moments or players who are automatically GOATs because of their performance. They just get to be that. You didn't hear anybody talking poorly about previous men's baseball players or putting down like CC Sabathia because Ohtani's doing great. And I feel like that happens in women's sports. So it was just an interesting observation that I wanted to quickly touch on before we get going in the show. And Megan, I know you have a lot of soccer talk for us too coming up.
Just a little NWSL season review. There is one match day left. The league is going on international break. There's a few games in the break, obviously. We'll be going to one of them on Thursday in Philly. But there's really only one week left. There is one playoff spot open. We're going to talk about that. Everything else has been locked up. The season is kind of really just like winding down and also simultaneously like getting on the rocket ship for playoffs. And it's going to be fun and exciting. And I can't wait to break it all down. We're going to talk to Alyssa Naeher, my old teammate, former U.S. Women's National Team goalkeeper. Super excited to chat to her. Obviously, she's still playing in the NWSL, but she has retired from international play. And we're just going to yak about all kinds of things and basically how the young kids brought in her old ass and kind of gave her like a second little life on her career. That's going to be fun. We have some fun little housekeeping items. We are planning another Q&A. This is like maybe one of the best parts about podcasting, I feel like, is Q&A sessions. Like I love it. I'm
big fan.
I miss being asked questions and just getting to answer them. So we're going to do a little Q&A. We want your questions. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about us? What do you want to know about soccer or basketball or anything else? Pretty much answer any question. Almost nothing is off limits. So don't wait to call 1-833-a-TOUCH-8 or leave us your questions in the YouTube comments. Get your questions in by next week so we can get them all together and get ready to answer them. I'm really excited about this one. I know you are. And we have a very special announcement. We have another live show coming up. A Touch More Live, presented by Delta, Google Pixel, and Volkswagen, will be at the NWSL Championship game in San Jose. I mean, it's dang near my hometown, California, on November 21st for the NWSL final. It's going to be so fun. Tickets are going to sell out fast. The venue's not huge, so check it out. Get the link in the episode description. Pumped for that one. That's it for all our special announcements. Let's just do it. I'm Megan Rapinoe.
And I'm Sue Bird. This is A Touch More. Let's get into it.
Support for A Touch More comes from Google Pixel and the all-new Google Pixel 10. With Google Pixel's most powerful chip, unbelievable camera quality, and mind-blowing AI with Gemini, there's never been a better time to get outside of your comfort phone. It's got Magic Q, the time-saving feature that gets you the right info when you need it. Plus, a built-in camera coach that helps guide you on how to take the best pic. And you can generate videos of pretty much anything you can imagine with Gemini. Head to the Google Store now to learn more about how Google Pixel never settles.
Gemini mobile app availability varies. Check responses. Internet connection required. Magic Q availability varies. Camera coach results may vary. Subscription required and availability varies for VO3 video generation. Users 18 and up.
Support for A Touch More comes from Delta. I know where I want to be, so how do I get there? It's the question at the start of every season. It begins with small steps, and every step propels you toward new heights. Because there's always more to reach for. And Delta Airlines is there to help connect you to your full potential. That's why Delta is the official airline of the National Women's Soccer League, helping you get to where you need to be, from season kickoff to the championships.
First up with the check-in, the Las Vegas Aces had their parade. They celebrated by going down the Vegas Strip last week. They had Ludacris perform, Crime Mob, Maya, as I said, all performing live. You know, Megan, as we mentioned, didn't get to really watch a lot of the shenanigans that was happening. So I put together a little bit of a highlight list. So my first highlights are Becky dancing with Crime Mob. I mean, I didn't know. Becky, you're 40 plus and your knees move like that? I'm impressed.
I did see that, and I was like, wow. That's honestly, I didn't know she had it like that. I knew
she could dance. I've been out with Becky a time or two. I knew she could dance. I'm just impressed at this age.
I didn't know that.
She's got that kind of like, what is it, adductors?
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Yeah. The adductors.
Yeah, the adductors.
And the other
We're
ductors.
Adducting.
All the ductors.
Second up on what I consider my highlights, Asia's Thanos gauntlet. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I didn't know what it was. I just saw like what looked like a mechanical. Honestly, it reminded me of the power glove that Nintendo used to make. So at first I thought it was that. Then I got to searching, and it's the Thanos gauntlet. And she came in hot. She also danced along with Crime Mob. And honestly, to be on an Asia Wilson team, to be a teammate of Asia Wilson means you have seen her rap Nuck If You Buck. It's like,
yes.
Yeah. It's like obligatory when you're around
I've
her.
seen it.
You've seen it, yeah. After the Olympics. I've seen it.
I actually have video
After
the Olympics.
I have video of it. Asia.
On the
if
bus.
You don't want me to release
I was
that.
like, oh, damn.
Oh, yeah, she gets in there. So that was really dope. And then honestly, one of my favorite parts was Dejanay Carrington, who was there, obviously supporting her girlfriend, Alyssa Smith. The two of them, and Alyssa really pouring shots into fans' mouths. But Dejanay was IDing. Dejanay was carding before. So she would check an ID, she would give the go-ahead, and then Alyssa would pour it up. So those are my top three.
I love it.
Megan, I kind of picked a couple that I told you to check out since you couldn't really participate in the same ways. So give them to us.
Honestly, this is like a newlyweds game or like a relationship game because these are my favorites.
I know. Did I do
these
good?
Are everyone that I saw. You did so good. Honestly, you know that I just love teasing Becky and the hoodies.
I know, you love the
Becky's hoodies. They're a reoccurring character on our show. They're so funny. It's endless. Like I have so many questions. Like, is it sewn into the inside? Are they getting custom made? Who's the tailor?
They have to be custom.
It's a whole thing. Anyways, obviously Becky got herself another custom hoodie blazer situation. Had gratitude on the back, bedazzled. It was great. Honestly, I'm like, go for it. I love when people just like have a signature thing and they just like rock it. I'm going to be honest. When I first read this one, Megan Gustafson says she was open to Asia. I was like,
I just feel like this is something you would have done.
Sexually?
What?
I know. I was like, is there like a funny crush thing going on? But it was not that. That is not what you meant. I absolutely would have done
I picked this one for you because
I think it's
you're like the same person.
it's
that's
so
like,
funny.
Yeah, I just picked this one for you because I thought you would say this.
No, absolutely. Like hits an epic shot, the most epic shot of the entire WNBA season and potentially of Asia's entire career. And it's like, listen, good for her. But FYI, I was open.
It reminded
I'm
me
just
of
saying,
Steve Kerr.
wide
It
open.
reminded me of Steve Kerr's
Oh, yeah,
speech
totally.
with Michael Jordan. Yeah.
So funny. Loved it. And like, obviously just like, you know, the dynamic between like a bench player, like Megan and literally the MVP of everything, just being like, just, you know, FYI, I'm right here for you if you ever need it. And Asia's like, I'm not going to need it. I was already, obviously Asia brought this out on the floor after the final, but the pink tambourine is genius. You know, I love shit like this too. Why is there a pink tambourine? Why is this part of their situation and their vibe and their celebrations? Why is it so funny? It's in the press conference. It's on the floor. It is sticking out of the top of a car. Like everyone has it. It just became like one of those little things that's just hilarious.
Yeah.
For literally no reason. It's no context hilarious and it's perfect. Anyways, those are my highlights. The hoodie, the Megan, and the tambourine.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that there was like a
great.
cop with the tambourine outside the window at one point, like cruising down the street, that really tipped it for me. Okay, I'm really excited for this.
Everyone got involved.
I'm really excited for this. It's time to blind rank the Las Vegas Aces parade t-shirts. Again, Megan, I think you've only seen the Asia Wilson t-shirt, so that's why I'm going to start with that one. So we've got Asia's t-shirt, which the whole outfit was really a nod to Michael Jordan, very similar vibe with the jeans and the belt. Obviously, the front of the shirt has the rings, you know, talking about the 3 championships. On the back, it also says regression era, which was a clapback at some tweets that had gone out saying Asia's game had regressed when the Aces weren't doing so well in the first part of the season. So FYI, there's 6 t-shirts we're going to be doing. Time for you to give us Asia's ranking. Again, everybody, this is a blind ranking.
This is tough. Okay.
I don't know what's coming.
I love to pull in references. So I love the Michael Jordan reference.
Okay. Where does she go?
The jeans, the belt. I mean, LOL. I love the use of the apostrophe. I love that that's like a branding thing that she does now. She had it on the MVP. Obviously, the regression, all these things, just so good.
Are you going to do this for all of them?
The hand was great. It didn't. I'm going to do 3.
All right, there it is.
I'm going to do number 3 because it didn't totally knock me out of my socks.
Okay, number 3. Next up is Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray's t-shirt had a picture of her, had a picture of her previous championships with the Aces, and at the bottom it said, washed? Question mark. More like wax that ass. She got right to the point. She got right to the point.
I'm dead. Oh my God, I didn't see it. Wow.
Man, people keep receipts these days for sure. The receipts. Woo.
Yeah. More like wax that ass. I mean, I'm dead. Okay. And you know, she really did. She showed up. 2.
Okay.
2.
Chelsea's in the second
Going
spot.
2.
All right. Next up, we have Jackie Young. Now, you get some credit. I think you did help with some inspo. You kind of were talking about how funny AI Jack is and how she has to have her face on there. I think it sparked some, like I said, inspo for her. So this is a picture of Miami Jack to AI Jack, and then obviously Championship Jack. So it's the 3 versions of Jackie. And on the back, obviously the ongoing joke with the team was that Jackie is Becky's fave. On the back, we've got a picture of Becky hugging Jackie, and it says Becky's fave. So where is this one going? You already got Asia at 3 and Chelsea at 2.
I know. I think I'm going to have to put it at 4. I like the idea, but I just think the composition could have been better. I know. I hate to say it. Because I'm excited about it and I like it. I wish it looked more like those like shirts that people make of their dogs, and it's like an old school, like vintage looking shirt. And then it's just like
all the different
Rufus.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Rufus.
Marlo. Yeah. Shout out Rufus and Marlo. Rest in peace, Rufus. Shout out Marlo.
Okay. We've got Jackie at 4.
Yeah, I'm going 4. I'm going 4 with that one.
Okay. Next up, Alyssa Smith.
No, I'm actually going 5.
5.
I'm going
Okay.
5 with that
Quick
one.
change.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Alyssa Smith. She went with a little bit of a, kind of honoring her journey in this particular season, going from worst to first, going from Dallas to Vegas. Yeah. So, but then she's got a belt buckle there, and she did have a little bit of a country vibe going. So maybe that's also like a shout out. Thanks for trading me, Dallas.
Oh, I like it.
You got Chelsea at 2, Asia at 3, Jackie at 5.
4.
Okay. 4th place.
I'm going 4.
Alyssa Smith.
Yep.
Okay. Next up, Dana Evans. I don't know if you caught this particular moment. She kind of had a LeBron look to her. That's the picture you see on her shirt when he posted that Instagram where it was like, I can't believe this is my life. So that's why the top says smiling through it all. She copied LeBron a little bit, but then she has a hashtag at the bottom that says, you ain't moving shit, which is basically what she was shit talking to Alyssa Thomas about when they got into it. She said, you ain't moving shit. All right. The only spots remaining are 1 and 6. So is this first or is this last?
I know. I think it's first.
Wow. Really?
I'm going.
Nope, you said it.
This is, well, yeah. I mean, God, we already got the big 3 out of there, and it's just, yeah, I'm going first. I like it. She grabbed the moment. She had a great series, and honestly, I have been wanting to know what her and AT were jawing at the entire series. They were talking so much shit, and I was loving it, and I was loving it from Dana Evans because she's about half the size of AT, and it was just constant, and she wasn't backing down, and so to just throw the little shade in there, I love it, and pulling an iconic moment. I'm down for it.
Okay, we've got Dana Evans at 1.
This is tough.
Chelsea
I
Gray
might
at
need
2.
to re-rank.
Okay, so we've got Dana Evans at 1, Chelsea Gray at 2, Asia at 3, Alyssa Smith at 4, Jackie Young at 5, which leaves us with the 6th spot, and that's going to Jewel Lloyd, who had a T-shirt of a broom, indicating the sweep, which also gives a little nod to the fact that Jewel has swept every final series she's been in.
Yeah, there's some Seattle Storm hands on that broom handle for sure. Yeah, the sweep was good. She wasn't even wearing it, so this is good. She wasn't even wearing it, so you know what?
She wore it a little bit. She had 2 T-shirts. She wore it a little bit. All right, there you have it, everybody. Megan's blind ranking. I just want to end our little conversation about the Aces with what I thought was the picture of the parade. And that is a team picture of them, which was used everywhere. It was used on literally everywhere. The Aces Instagram page, probably WNBA, probably ESPNW, you name it. And it's a picture of the team at the parade. They've got, it's probably right after the stage portion, and they've got the whole crew, the whole fan base behind them. It's an epic picture.
Cool.
But you look around and you're like, wait, I don't see Jackie. And then it's like a Where's Waldo situation, and she's all the way there in the back. So here, for those that are listening in, it's a team pick. The whole team's there doing their thing. And then there's actually a fence separating them from the fans. And Jackie's in on the other side of the fence with the fans. I have no idea what happened here. I wish we could have her back on the show to find out.
What happened? Jackie doesn't know what happened.
No one knows.
This is Fan Jackie. Fan Jackie.
So once again, congratulations to the Aces. Epic celebration.
It's so good.
Fun to watch. I will say, man, they keep
It's actually-
receipts. That parade, the theme was receipts. They did a whole montage where they were showing reporters and things they said about them mid-season. Whole thing was receipts.
Who do you think is more petty? 2022 Warriors or 2025 Vegas Aces?
I'll leave that for the
Aces.
people. I'll let the people judge.
I think the Aces.
Okay, with the end of one season comes the ending of another league and another season. Megan, NWSL. We have a little bit of a season review from you, but also what we can look forward to as the season ends. What we got going on over here?
I know we're doing the season review a touch early. There's still one match day left, but all but one playoff spot is locked up. Racing Louisville and the North Carolina Courage are going to be battling it out on the last match day of the season, which, as a reminder, is coming after this international break. I think the decision day is November 2nd, and then everything will be kind of locked up. But I just kind of wanted to do a little before we get into playoffs, and that's what we'll be talking about. Just kind of like a little season in review in terms of, viewership, business, kind of like state of the league. I feel like it was another good year for the NWSL, to be honest. Viewership is down a little bit. But there's a lot of reasons for that. And actually viewership was up a little bit in August, and it was because Trinity Rodman, I think, came back and was playing off of injury. And there's actually a lot of growth across different platforms. So I think from like a CBS perspective, the media rights deal is kind of split up between a bunch of different platforms and places where you can watch the game, which does make it harder to watch the game. Like if you're just throwing your TV on ESPN and an NWSL game's on, like that's easier than having to go find it on a platform or maybe a network that you're not, familiar with. But across ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, viewership actually grew by something like 70%, 72% compared to last year.
Wow.
There's a lot more games on the properties. Yeah, there's a lot more opportunity to watch games, obviously more investment, all of that. So the viewership numbers kind of like have a mixed bag of a story. Like also last year came off the Olympics, Triple Espresso really took the country by storm, kind of like a new era of U.S. soccer. And obviously a lot of our stars coming back and playing, for maternity reasons. Sophia Wilson and Mal Swanson have both been out the entirety of the year. They're having their babies. I think they've both expressed, desire to come back and play. Trinity Rodman has been out the majority of the year, and she just actually went down with another injury. Better than what I feared. Obviously, seeing someone walk off on a knee brace, you're like ACL, but I think it's just her MCL, and so that's just a matter of probably, weeks before she's back on the field, and nothing too serious. Attendance is down by 4%. I mean, that could be like 100 people, like it's not 4% isn't that much if 20,000 people are coming to the games or 10,000 people are coming to the games. But we also saw, really cool stuff like Bay Area, Bay FC play at Oracle Park, and that was 40 something thousand. So to me, I'm not like super worried, but I think there's been a lot of reasons why there's been a little bit of inconsistency, but overall, I think the product is starting to gain traction just in like the marketplace of things people are always like aware of. And I think having it on ESPN and ABC obviously is just huge. Like everybody knows those platforms. Everybody knows that sports play on those platforms. And so just like creating that consistency, I think is going to be huge. And again, I mean, outside of the Triple Espresso, Naomi Girma, left, Alyssa Thompson left to play in the WSL. There's some of our biggest stars like left in their biggest moment. And so it's just going to take, I think, a little time to kind of like create that, I don't know, brand equity with new players. And I think it's still really exciting, and I'm not really, honestly, all that worried about it. I think it's good. I think women's sports are up. I also just think that, and we know this from all of our experience in women's sports for all of these years, but like the money is now being invested. And so like,
give it a second.
It's going to grow. It's like watering a flower. Like it's going to grow. You know that. Front offices are getting more money and beefing up their ticket departments and creating a better foundation to actually sell tickets from, and, the marketing department and all that. The platforms, whether it's ESPN, CBS, Paramount Plus, all those, you know, they're investing in it. You know, Men's World Cup is coming. You know, Women's World Cup is coming Men's World Cup 26, Women's World Cup 27. So it's like all these, the WSL is growing, the Women's Champions League, like all of it's growing. And so if you don't have like a record breaking year every single year, it's fine. This growth is steady. People are into it. They're watching, and the money is there to really, kind of back it up.
Well, wait, let's go back for a second. You mentioned Trin getting hurt again, like how unfortunate that is. What does that mean for her? What does it mean for the Spirit? But what does it mean for the national team? You also mentioned a FIFA break coming up.
If I can like rank the hierarchy of worries, I feel like the Spirit, just because it's playoff time and
you need her now.
She's going to have you need her now, and she's going to have a couple of weeks to recover. Hopefully she can do that. Then just Trin herself, it just sucks to be injured. She's obviously, spent so much time coming back from that back injury, was really patient, came in playing at a super high level because that's the only level she plays at. And just like getting that consistency. But she'll be fine. An MCL, it just needs time. It's like a sprained ankle in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And then least important, the national team. I mean, it's a bummer that she's not in these games and in these friendlies, but ultimately, like, her health is the most important thing, and these are just friendlies, and we're still a number of years away from anything big. But I do think that going into next year, it's going to be really important for all those players to come back into form and start to play with each other more as they sort of get ready for qualifiers and obviously World Cup in 2 years. But it's kind of just a bummer. I mean, maybe it came at a little bit of a good time in terms of having the international break, because she can just rest and rehab. She's not going into camp. That's another 10, 12 days. She probably won't have to and won't play she definitely won't have to play in their final game. They've already clinched home field advantage and obviously a playoff spot. So it'll give her a little bit of time just to rest it. She'll be able to start, running soon and all of the things. It's just going to be a matter of kind of that pain tolerance. And she has actually a little bit of time to kind of do that. So I'm not like super worried about it. It's more just a bummer. Heading into the playoffs, you want kind of everybody to be at their best.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you've kind of brought up NWSL playoffs. They start in November. What are some of the biggest storylines for you?
Well, I think actually just what we were talking about, the health and the injuries of players. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Trinity has suffered. Temwa Chawinga went out with an injury, an upper leg injury. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I think it was like to specify that it wasn't her knee, but I'm like, what's an upper leg injury? Marta's been out for a time. We obviously talked about all the people who have been out, but I think just like it's a long season. And for international players doing double duty, to have to, go back and do both, it's like it's a long season. You're kind of like winding it down. And then it's like this final month of push. Who's going to be healthy heading into the playoffs? But looking at the playoff picture, it's almost all set, as we said. Seattle and Gotham clinched their playoff spots. Last week, Kansas City clinched it like at the beginning of the season. Orlando's in, Portland's in, San Diego's in. So those are all clinched in. The Thorns are clinched in. There's only one spot left, and that is going to be decided between Racing Louisville and North Carolina Courage. All the other teams are eliminated already, so it's like this one. I wish they were playing each other. I don't think they are.
Yeah, that'd be epic.
That would be awesome.
I do love
I'm
how
like,
they're
just
calling
change it up.
I do love how they're calling it Decision Day.
Decision
November
day.
2nd is Decision Day. And that would be so...
I know.
That would be... I would love it if they were playing each other.
This is where sometimes in sports I'm like, can we just change this rule real quick? Can we just scrap it and just like make them play each other?
Yeah.
And everyone else can honestly just like have the day off. Like, can we just play this game and they can play each other?
This is where I'm
like
always
in a neutral site.
When it doesn't work out, I'm always like, sports gods didn't have our back. Sports gods were against us. And sometimes the sports gods are for us. And that's when you got to appreciate it.
But yeah, we're going to see how everything, I think some of the, spots can still be juggled based on how teams do on the final day. But I'm excited to get to the playoffs.
Well, yeah, wait, Megan, why don't you, honestly, explain it to me? I know the playoff structure is new this year. Why is it different? How is it different? Do you like it? Give me everything.
Okay, so in the past, I like it a lot. There's 8 teams that make it. There's 4 quarterfinals. There's 2 semifinals. There's a final. It's really clear. It's really clean. In the past, we've had like the top 2 teams getting buys in the first weekend, getting an off weekend. I hated that. Like, in the one sense, like if you had a lot of injuries or you were battling something, like, okay, you get an extra week, but we already play basically once a week anyway. So to not play a game for 2 weeks as long the other team has played in, it just, all you're doing is sitting around and thinking about how you're one of the best teams that got the buys. And then now you have to perform and you haven't played for 2 weeks. And you're like, you know, it just kind of puts more pressure. I just like the idea of like,
you sound like someone
keeping
who
in
lost
the
that
flow.
game.
I've lost that game.
Yeah,
I have.
That's what you sound like. Because
I have experience.
yeah, people who win that game are like, "Oh, it was so great. We got rest. We were ready to go." I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Well,
I totally
it
hear
sucks.
you. It's
No.
that's exactly how it's going to
Yeah.
play out. You win, you love it. You lose, it sucks.
Yeah. And I think you just from a viewership standpoint, from a momentum standpoint, from the sort of like business around, you're like, these are the dates. These are the weeks. We're going bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Here's the top teams. You can really sell it. I think it's an easier product to sell and market around and have kind of like the excitement build. Obviously the WNBA is over now, so people will be looking for, and I think this is the thing with soccer that people are like, the ties drive people crazy. And now it's like, there's going to be overtimes or PKs. Somebody's coming at it. All of these games are single elimination. And I think it's just like a really exciting time in the NWSL. I hope that the playoff games are awesome. The quality on the field's been great this year. So I think it's going to be really fun. And I can't wait to do our live show there.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
That's going to be fun. All right, that brings us to our conversation with Alyssa Naeher. We chatted with her last week, and we're excited for everyone to watch it.
Support for A Touch More comes from Google Pixel. Look, it's 2025. You shouldn't be settling for just any old phone. Instead, get outside of your comfort phone with Google Pixel 10. Now, you may already be familiar with Pixel's industry-defining camera, but have you heard about its built-in camera coach that guides you on how to get the best from every shot? Or being able to share your camera in Gemini Live to have a back and forth chat about what you're seeing. Or, and this is really cool, video generation with Gemini, which allows you to create videos of practically anything you can imagine simply by describing it. And these are just a small handful of the features that make the Pixel 10 so extraordinary. Head to the Google store now and learn more about how Google Pixel never settles.
Camera coach results may vary. Check responses for Gemini Live. Compatibility and availability varies. Users 18 and up. Subscription required and availability varies for VO3 video generation. Users 18 and up.
Support for A Touch More comes from Delta. Realizing your full potential starts with recognizing the steps you need to get you there. That might look like adding a trading day or 2 or 3, and don't get me wrong, that can be a grind. But if you're actually able to make that mental shift and combine it with action, you can become unstoppable. Through a series of small steps, all building on each other, you can reach your destination. And once you get there, looking back and seeing how far you've come feels that much sweeter. There are always greater heights to reach, and Delta Airlines is always there to help connect you to your full potential. In 2022, Delta Airlines became the official airline of the National Women's Soccer League as part of their commitment to invest in and support equity for women. It's a cornerstone of Delta's investment to improve the air travel experience for everyone and help you get to where you need to be, from season kickoff to the championships.
Alyssa Naeher is a goalkeeper's keeper. In 2024, she made NWSL history by becoming the first goalkeeper with 50 wins for a single club, Chicago Stars FC. She's also had an unbelievable career for the U.S. women's national team. I witnessed almost all of it, basically all but her last year. She's the only goalkeeper in women's soccer history to earn a shutout in both an Olympic gold medal game and a World Cup final. Absolutely incredible. She won 2 World Cups with the U.S., 1 Olympic gold medal, among many other things. This year, she will be retiring from international soccer, but will continue to play for the Chicago Stars. Please welcome to the show one of Connecticut's finest, along with our dear Sue, although I guess you're from Long Island.
Husky.
Junior Husky, Alyssa Naeher. Welcome to the show, Liz.
Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
I mean, we call you Liz. I guess your full name is Alyssa Naeher. Welcome to A Touch More, the podcast. Very excited to have you on. We were trying to get you on last year after your big Olympic win, but you were too busy. It's fine.
We get it.
How are you? How are you? Where are you? Where are you at in your season? How you feeling?
I am good. I'm in Chicago. We've got 2 more games left. We've got one. We'll head out to San Diego for this weekend and then international break, which is exciting for me because I'll get to go back to Connecticut and do my retirement game, which I'm very much looking forward to. And then we'll come back and we have one more game of the season. So unfortunately already out of the playoffs, which is tough, but kind of in our villain era at the moment, try to maybe knock out a couple more teams before we're done. So
Oh, it's always the worst.
Yeah, you guys, those
I
are the
know,
hardest
it's
teams.
like-
Spoiler teams.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
God, just,
No, they're all free over there.
oh, totally.
Just
yeah. How is it to have an international break?
it's different. It's so different.
So weird, right?
Yeah. I'm
We
like, I
never, for
actually
those
have
of you who
days
don't
off.
know, international break is like FIFA windows is when international players, national team players go and play their make 'em ups,
Make them ups.
friendlies, qualifiers, whatever. So if you play internationally, you obviously play in your NWSL season and then like you just go, it's just double time. It's just double duty. I mean, we did this our whole entire career. For players that don't play on the national team, they just like have off. I'm sure the teams like practice and whatever, but generally they like have a few days off and they get to chill a little bit. So that's what international break is. But how has it been to actually have one? First
It's
time in your whole
been-
life.
Yeah, it's been good. I've been able to travel a little bit, see family, or just kind of get away for a couple of days, or honestly, even just enjoy Chicago in the summer because, you know, you suffer through the winter all year. And yes, by all year, I mean, all year is how long winter is here in Chicago. So you like really want to enjoy the 3 months of summer. So it's just been kind of nice to have some extra days. And even this morning at the breakfast table, everyone's talking about, oh, they got to get on a flight after the game on Sunday to fly to Switzerland or fly to Germany. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to just be hanging out.
Yeah. You're like, I'm probably going to ride my bike along the lake.
Exactly.
Personally.
Exactly.
You are getting to enjoy these international breaks now because last November you retired from international play, obviously not a full-blown retirement. Can you talk us through that decision to step away and why just the international retirement and why did you want to keep going on with?
Yeah, I think for internationally, it just like really made sense timing wise. I think coming off the Olympics, coming off of, I mean, you know what it's like, obviously, to be with that team for as, you know, that long. It takes so much out of you, you know, emotionally, mentally,
everything.
physically, everything. Obviously, the reward is incredible with what you get to do from it and the experiences of it. But I just felt like I had accomplished everything I'd ever set out to do, probably, and then some, honestly. And it just felt like the right time in terms of the transition, a lot of with Emma coming in, you know, fully. She obviously got there right before the Olympics, but now there's no other major tournament for another 3 years to get to the World Cup. So it just kind of felt like, you know, I've done everything that I'd ever wanted to do, and to be able to finish with an Olympic gold medal was, you know, the peak that it could have been. So, but still wanted to keep playing a little bit. I think from a lot of different people that I've talked to, going into retirement is very hard and challenging. I'm sure you two know a little bit about that. So I think just trying to take, you know, a little bit more time to figure out, you know, fully what's next, so that when I am like really ready to be done, I don't really want like a dead period in between. I want to be able to transition into something. So wanted to be able to keep, and I still feel good physically. So wanted to keep, you know, playing a little bit longer, at least here in Chicago.
Tell me a little bit about that Olympic experience. You correct me if I'm wrong, but the other 2 Olympic experiences that you've had were terrible. Just going to say that. Not awesome. Difficult in so many ways, and obviously difficult in the worst way of not winning. Tell me just about the experience in general, just like how the games were, but also being able to play the role that you did and the way that you did and just be at the top of your game, but also just fucking winning. Like, you did the thing. That's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, and I think coming off, especially even more so off a really disappointing World Cup in 23, to be able to come back a year after that. And I remember sitting with the team kind of right before we like officially went off. I think it was like in the camp or something, the pre-training camp. And I kind of like looked around the room, and it hit me that nobody in that room had an Olympic gold medal. And I think it was the first time that in a long time that there's always like one or two that had been, but nobody had one. And it kind of was this realization of like, we have an opportunity to do something really special together as a group. That's unique, especially on this team. And it was a really cool mix of some veteran experienced players. We had a lot of young players, but also this like weird mix of young players that also did have a lot of experience too, but were kind of growing into a little bit more leadership roles or more playing time. And it just was, I don't know, you could feel it. It was like, it felt very similar to the 2019 team, just in like the camaraderie of the group, and just like that you almost didn't even want to say it because you didn't want to say it out loud and put it out there because you didn't want to jinx it, of like, but you could feel that there was like the potential for something really special. And then obviously whenever you're going into a tournament, you got to have, your defense has to show up, which they did incredibly all tournament long. Naomi Gurma, incredible, just lights out. And then you have to have somebody, or in our case, people, step up and score goals, and to have, Triple Espresso just kind of go off and score, all these incredible goals. And the Olympics are crazy too, because you're playing 6 games in like 16 days, which is very different from a World Cup too. And it was just, yeah, you could feel it. And someone different stepped up every game, and which made it even more like the celebration even better, because it was just like such a team victory in so many ways. But yeah, it was like a very surreal experience.
Yeah, you could tell the like vibes were there.
Yeah,
for lack of better.
Well, they were definitely there at the after party.
Well,
I can attest to that.
I sent Alyssa like a series of like 6 photos the other day, just randomly.
So funny.
I got inside of her gold medal on her neck with it on her neck also, and we took all these pictures. It was so ridiculous. So fun. But yeah, we went to your after party. We had like a wild we were like at all the basketball games and all the after parties and all the soccer games that day. It was so much fun.
But even that was so cool to like finish the game and then like have you and Kelly and Tobin and like everyone just like come. It's like still such like a, like once you're on the team, you're on the team. And it's like kind of that vibe of like, we could feel your guys' support even like in the stands, coming in, getting excited to come in. So to be able to like celebrate all that afterwards as well was like so much more fun.
Oh, we could not have been happier and prouder and just like more excited for the group, for us.
Yeah.
I feel it was so cool. Did you know heading into that Olympics that was gonna be your last tournament, or was it like maybe?
I had a feeling, like it kind of, honestly, I was shocked I was even going to. It's been like the running joke for the last 8 years that like I'm gonna retire, and somehow I'm still
never
the last
believed
one.
that.
I know, I'm like, what?
I didn't believe, but now I'm somehow still the last man standing. But yeah, I think just going into it, I think there was a lot of questions after the World Cup as well of, is it time for not just myself, but like what direction does the team want to go? What direction what's the plan for, even the Olympics? I didn't even know I was the starter for the Olympics until like the month before.
I did.
So I think it was just like, you never really know what the plans are. You start looking at just all the other external factors, internal factors. And I felt like it probably was. But I mean, to the thought of going another like 3 or 4 years of a cycle, like felt like a lot. But there was like always, this was like the last thing escaping was like the Olympic gold medal. But yeah, I definitely had an inkling that it was probably the last major tournament.
Yeah, having that in the back of your head, did it change your approach at all as you were going through the Olympics?
I think in some ways, yes. I think almost it was the more stressful part I guess was like even going into it of like, you want to play, you want to contribute, you want to like get that role. And then once you're there, you're like, okay, like I've secured that, like we're good. Like now it's just like, let's ride this out, and just, you've done all of the other preparation, all the like all of it. Now it's just about the execution. So there was part of me, I do think that was like a little bit more free in a way of just like, let's just go do it. It's, all the work has been done, and now it's the execution, which, but it was definitely like a little bit more freeing, I guess. And then again, when you've got the team playing in front of you like that, you just like get settled in, and it was, and there's almost like there's no time to think because the games come so quickly. You're like immediately on to the next one, even before you're back on the bus almost.
Yeah, so maybe what's difficult about it physically is actually a gift mentally.
Yeah, totally.
You just got to keep it moving.
Yeah, there was just something this is not a question, I'm just going to tell you this. This was something so beautiful. It's almost like a gift for you of like all your friends retired.
Yeah.
Like just, it's like we've all been on those teams where like you're the oldest, you're the last. Like, we had such an amazing friend group like in our prime. And like when we were, 2019, like really like 17, 18, 19, 20, like that was just like such a great group. And it's hard. Like when you have longevity as a player, oftentimes like your friends retired, and I just loved seeing how they embraced you and ribbed you and just kind of like made fun of you but brought you in. I feel like it brought you, it was just a beautiful gift from the younger players to just like bring you in and give you this experience that it was probably really hard in ways of losing some of the people that you were close with, and just that comfort and our dinners and the coffees and the walks and the chats. But it was just so cool to watch from the outside. I think as your friend, I was like, oh my God, the kids are taking care of her. It's like just like the sweetest thing. And, obviously knowing that it was, knowing now that it was, your last, and, you kind of having an inkling. It was just a really cool thing for you personally to get. Not every player, just for whatever reason, gets, such a nice environment like that in the end for themselves and for you personally. So that was just, I loved watching that from the outside, and it seemed like you really embraced that as well. And it brought a lot of joy to you also.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I remember even thinking before, kind of, I had this like aha moment right before, because I was even considering, do I want to make a run at it or not? And I remember thinking, like, because our group was so special for so long, it was just like, we just had such a good time. And I remember having this, like, I feel like if I can allow myself to be a little bit more vulnerable, allow myself to be like one with the group, I have so much experience of like lived experience that I felt like could be such a valuable like bridge almost between our generation and this future generation. And if they were willing to kind of embrace that, if I was willing to, again, let my guard, they were joking. The big joke the whole summer was like, I was in my soft era of.
Oh my God, so cute.
But
so
I
cute.
think, and yeah, they totally embraced it. They, just listened to stories and was able to share with them a lot of my experiences, a lot of our experiences of winning, of losing, of when things get hard, of how to have fun but be a professional, how to balance that like training and preparation with like time to relax and just like let your mind, be at ease with things. And I think it was also really fun for me in the year to see how the team, and it made it even that much more clear that it was like my time to like move on. I saw those friendships forming that we all had. I saw those like their coffee dates, their dinner dates, their like groups of it. And it like put such a smile on my face of like, okay, like the vibes are still going. Like that's what this group is about. And just like watching them, but also being a part of that transition was like a really unique and special thing to be a part of.
You brought them into their winning era.
I hope so.
Yeah, you introduced them.
Very
I have
much.
like a novice soccer question.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is it hard being a leader from the goalkeeper position?
I think yes and no. I think part of it is almost like built in because truthfully, we joke about sitting in the back before the show started, but like that is kind of why I like to sit in the back, is I like to just have
See everything, yeah.
in front of me. But I think that there is the benefit to it is it's the role that has the potential like to almost like be the most calm at times, because you're not having to run everywhere. You're not having to like do different things. Like you have the opportunity to kind of slow things down when they need to be slowed down. You can a little bit control the tempo if and when you need. I would say the hard part is sometimes you're so far removed, like trying to relay a message to the front or even like communicate like that can get really, you're just far away.
Right.
So you have to wait sometimes for an opportunity of either an injury or, a water break or whatever the time may be. But I do think that it's a little bit of both.
Okay, that makes sense. I was just curious.
And you often end up the goalkeeper ends up being older because you can
Yeah.
prolong your career. So there's often that experience on the field that's helpful.
Right. Well, you are one of, if not the best goalkeeper of all time, certainly one of the more dominant ones.
You're my best.
Yes, you're definitely Megan's best. You're my best too then, of course. But, with a career that has gone the way yours has gone, a lot of winning, we've already talked about the gold medal. You even mentioned it as something like you wanted to achieve. It was there. You went, you got it. Now that you're retired from international play, you're focused on the NWSL and you're getting towards closer to the end than the beginning. What's your motivation now? Like what's getting you up in the morning? What's getting you going?
I think it's still that drive to win, that drive to like, that's, I think, what's the hardest thing about, thinking about what's next is there's nothing else, at least in my opinion, that can compare with like that competition or the, like that. I mean, everybody has goals in different areas of life. It's not that you don't have things that you want to accomplish, but it's the only thing I've ever known also. So just like the routine of it, I've always kind of loved the off-season grind, the just trying to get better, trying to get fitter, having those opportunities. But I think I've never won anything in the NWSL, which is infuriating. As we've come so close so many times, and then just like
Yeah, same with you, right?
I know. I have
Yeah, you
shields,
guys
but not
are-
like actual championships, and it just
bridesmaids.
grinds my gears.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like tough. I just want like that satisfaction of it. I think that's the on-field side of it. I think again, I've enjoyed playing with my teammates. I enjoy playing with my defenders. Especially there's obviously different. I work with them the most, and we've got like a fun group that we keep building chemistry. We keep getting better and better. I think it's just fun to stay in that. And then I think there's still just so much to be done off the field within organizations, within the league, that I feel like I still have a lot to give in that area and try to push to continue to make the improvements that we need to make as an organization and as a league. And I think that where I see the benefit of being an older player is I feel like I can be the one to take that burden from some of the younger ones and just let them almost like just focus on playing. And I can have some of the more, part of it is you don't know what you don't know. And when you say things and it's like, hey, this is why we shouldn't travel this way. This is why we shouldn't eat this way. It's like, oh, I've tried to do that and I watched it fail so many times. It's not because it's
You're like, I actually know.
Yeah, it's like,
Unfortunately, I've tried every other option.
I was like, this isn't just my opinion. Like,
Right, I was just gonna say
we've
that.
tried and failed. Like, this isn't just what I want us to do. This is like, so I think being able to hopefully continue to do that, I see a lot of, that gives me purpose.
Right. Well, you're absolutely right. Pickleball in retirement does not get the juices going the way a championship contending team would. But back to kind of the organization of it all, if you will.
Yeah.
You've played 10 years in Chicago. What it is about that city, that club that's kept you there?
I just part of in general, like I like consistency. I like, kind of sticking with something. I'm probably somebody just in general that's loyal to a fault. So I think that for me, it's a commitment to the group, to the team, to the organization to kind of just keep plugging away at what we've been trying to achieve. And I think that there was also a time I thought I would have been in Boston my whole career until I got traded. So that just kind of reset that clock. And I mean, Chicago is such an incredible city. It's so much fun. There's so much to do. We've had our team was also really good for a really long time. Obviously, the last few years have been a little bit more transitional. We've still been competitive, but it's definitely been, different coaches, different players, different owners all coming through. So a lot of changes have happened, but we've been able to compete and been part of the conversation every single year. So I think that helps stay when you know that you've got that consistency of at least the ability as an organization to compete. And it's, Chicago's just incredible. It's such a fun sports town. There's everyone, like people walking around in Bears gear. They've got Cubs are good. So you get to kind of just be part of that sports atmosphere.
Well, I think it's safe to say they haven't always deserved you, Alyssa. We don't need to drag the formerly known as the Red Stars. But you had some really tough, I went through this a little bit in Seattle, particularly when Vlatko had gone. Laura wasn't back yet. We had Farid as our coach. Absolute nightmare. He ended up getting fired and was saying wild stuff and abusive to players. You had an all-time abuser banned from the NWSL. We don't even need to say his name. But you guys were good during that time also. Did you ever seriously? You're the best thing that ever happened to that club. They didn't deserve you, but they are getting better, and I love that. And there's a lot more investment. Did you ever seriously look at another club? Was there ever a time where it was oh, this is just for your career, selfishly? There was definitely, times for me, we were dating also. So it was why don't I want to leave that? And I love Seattle, similar to Chicago. But I was if this doesn't change, this is a detriment to my career. Have you ever felt that? Or is your position sort of agnostic to that? Because you're well, I'm just back here making 50 saves a game. I'm getting better.
I think there were a lot of factors that went into play with it. I think that for a long time as well, free agency wasn't a thing in our league.
Yeah.
So
true.
In order for me to leave for a long time, I would have had to ask to leave or push the issue or do that. And I just couldn't do it. I could never bring myself to say I want out. Cause to me, I felt like I was failing if I was doing that. And a number of players have asked to leave over the years. So I say that in regards to only how I personally feel about myself.
Totally.
Everybody has their own choices to make. Everybody has what they need to do that's best for them. And I think most people have all made very good decisions with how they've gone about it. But when it came to me, it was really hard for me to go knock on the door, open it, and be I want to leave. I need out. Yeah. I just could never bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
And by the time I was a free agent, last year was the first year I was ever a free agent. And at this point, I'm I'm already kind of
You're I got a house. Where am I going?
Yeah, I'm
I know my way around.
I've got my, different things. And I think the other side of it too is, we've had some hard times here for sure, but no team is perfect. You kind of pick your poison on what you're willing to deal with, because we're still in that growth stage of, as much as things have gotten better in the last 14 years or however long the league's been around, we still are, there's no perfect team in the league. So it's kind of and even especially as a goalkeeper, I had a position here. I had this, if I was to asked to go to a different team, everybody else already had starters too, for the most part, unless you're going to go to expansion or find out somebody else has left or in a trade. So there was also kind of that, I'm still on the national team trying to prepare for games, World Cups, Olympics. Like I had consistency like in my position. So there was like, rather than wanting to go and start over somewhere, that also felt really hard.
That's a big, that's
at least here, like I've always known like what I'm dealing with. I know what off field, like my off field life is fun. Again, it's like the city of Chicago is great place to live. So at least here, I always knew what the challenges were, and I knew different ways to, it's almost, again, the grass isn't always greener, especially when you don't know what's on the other side of the line.
Yeah, very true.
You just brought something up that I'm so curious about. You kind of touched on just this idea, like, as a goalkeeper, when you're on a team, it's not that there's only one of you, right? There's usually like three of you.
But there's only three.
There's only there's only three. But there's really only one playing.
Yeah.
There's
really only one.
Yeah, there's really only one. And obviously subs at that spot are very rare. So if we could go back to the national team experience more so, just what is that like? What is the pressure of that like? What is the stress of that like, both when you're trying to earn that spot and essentially beat two other people out, maybe more, and then when you get it, holding on to it?
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling stressful talking about it.
I think the holding on is more stressful than the trying to get, honestly. Okay. I think that's the, when you're kind of working your way, because when I first started, when I was 20, 21, I'm fifth in line at that point. You're just like happy to be there. You're just competing. You're just, there's no expectations. There's no pressure really. And then as you kind of keep climbing and trying to like pick away at it, obviously you always want to play, even when even when Hope was on the team, like I still wanted to play. I had so much respect in the world for her as, she was an incredible goalkeeper. But you still want to play regardless of anything else. So I think that it took so long and it was such a process and a journey to get to that spot. I think like trying to hold on to it for the last 6-8 years, whatever it's been, has been more stressful than trying to get there. Because there's not much that separates all of us. There's each of us have our strengths and our different areas of, weaknesses and whatnot. But then it also comes down to what style the coach wants to play. Like you could be the best in the world at something, but if they don't value that side of the game, you're kind of SOL at that point. Like it doesn't really matter if they have a different style that they would prefer. So I think it's definitely very stressful. I've been very fortunate with the goalkeepers that we've had along the way, that there is this, because we all understand that there's this unique bond of we're going to compete, we're going to push each other, we're going to get after it every single day. But regardless, at the end of the day, whoever's on the field, like we're going to fully support that person and we're going to be here for that person. We're going to help them train and prepare. And I've always been I took that part of my job very seriously when I was a number 3, number 2, in those different tournaments. I feel like I learned so much in those moments about, how to be a teammate, how to be a training partner, how to compete while also respecting, like there's a tournament that somebody else is playing in that right now that's not my role. And I think it then helped me later in my career when that was my role, to be the one playing and having that responsibility with the group. But I always felt very supported by, the other goalkeepers in the group the whole time, which goes a long way in, being able to prepare.
Yeah, it's like you're all you got is each other.
Yeah,
you guys, exactly. All you got. It is well back there.
It's well back there.
You brought up like just coaches and style. We had Emma on the show recently. You only got to play with her for a short period of time, but what do you think she brought or brings to the national team?
I think what she brings, which is something I hated but also kind of embraced at the same time, was she brought this like vulnerability to the group that was a little bit different than what we had, than at least what I've experienced in the past. And she obviously has a wealth of knowledge. She's been around the game for a number of years at a lot of different levels. And I think that she just had this unique ability to hold a high standard, but also allow people to be human. And I think that's a really hard balance at times to recognize that they're, especially with this team, we have very high expectations for ourselves at all times. Obviously, the outside as well has high expectations, but I think her ability to bring the group together in different ways, and whether it was, we'd have some kumbaya sessions, and you've got to share your feelings, and you've got to do all these things. And
she told us about a few. I was like, oh man, the older players would have hated that shit. But then you got to do it.
My literal nightmare. And I was like, okay, so you got to lock in, and just like, you want to be here. You chose to do this. Like, me and Tiernan would be like texting each other on the side, like, do we really have to do this? Like, can we get out of it?
Gotta do
How
it.
do we get out of this? Like, but I think even she also always participated. So it's like she never made the team or the group do anything that she didn't also then participate in. And I think that in and of itself was, if you're going to ask people to share a more vulnerable side of yourself, to let the group really embrace that, she always went first. And she kind of set that tone.
Yeah, that's a gem. She's like, we're doing it, y'all.
Yeah, or it's like,
we're doing it.
We're all jumping into this. So I think, and who's to say that works with every group? It works for that group. And I think everybody was able to buy into it. And obviously that's only a part of it, but she obviously has the soccer mind as well. And that competitiveness, she's incredibly competitive. Mm-hmm. She hates to lose. I remember I had a Zoom call with her. There's a camp that I didn't go to because I was injured. And she signs on, and in her kitchen, she's like, every medal she's ever won is like hanging off the top thing.
Psycho. I love it.
And I was like, it took me a second to figure out. I was like, is that what I think that it is? And she's like, yeah, look above me. I like to win. I like to win. And I'm like, all right.
I love it. I love
she's
that.
She's locked in. She wants to win.
I love that. Speaking of winning, you finished your national team career being named U.S. Soccer Female Player of the Year, which is really just Player of the Year, FIFA Women's Goalkeeper of the Year. You played every minute on your way to gold in Paris, breaking the record, 4 shutouts along the way.
Wait, first goalie to ever take and make a penalty kick?
Take and make a penalty kick.
In a World Cup?
That was one of the more stressful
You scored a goal this year. You scored a goal this year?
Against
Seattle. Against I was there. I didn't even know that it happened. You told me that it happened after the game. It was like such a scrum at the end of the game. I was like, this is nuts. You've done all this. You're my best goalkeeper
you're clutch,
ever.
Man. You're clutch.
What are you telling little Alyssa about what big Alyssa did on the biggest stages in the whole world?
The biggest criticism I ever got, even starting as like a 12-year-old goalkeeper, was, and this was repeated to me then, this was repeated to me in 2019 and multiple times throughout my career, you don't have the personality to be a successful goalkeeper at the highest level. I think that was always something that was always really hard to hear. It's like, you can't change your personality. So I think what I would tell little Alyssa is like, just like be who you are. Like, it's okay. Like, just have fun, just play. Don't take any of it for granted. As you get closer to the end than the beginning, you start to look back on all the different experiences, and the winning is fun and the medals are fantastic and that's what you're trying to do, but it's like all the other stuff along the way that you get to be a part of. Yeah, I mean, I've been very fortunate to have the career that I've had, and I feel so blessed with it. And again, to think back to 26 years ago, going down with my parents and my sister to watch that game in 99, and now to be, last year we were in New Jersey with that team, like having brunch before they're sending me off to an Olympics. And I just had this as I'm celebrating my 100th cap too, I'm like, they're on the other half of the field, I'm on this. And I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah. It's so crazy. And you're being honored by the national team. We don't do any kind of like jersey retirements. We don't let those go, but this is basically that type of honoring. You'll undoubtedly be in the Hall of Fame whenever your time's up. That's on October 26th, though. That's next week, if my math is right. Following week, friendly against
Connecticut,
Portugal
let's
in
go.
Connecticut, in your hometown. That's so
Yes.
incredible. I can't wait for that honor for you.
Honestly, one of my favorite retirement, since you asked, one of my
yeah,
favorite
absolutely.
retirement moments is we played at Chicago and you came to the game.
Yeah,
And on the
that was so
last
fun.
shot that I hit, got a little picture of you taking a picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like
I
one
was
of the
like, in
highlights.
my proud mom was like,
So cute.
So
It
thanks
was
for
so
asking,
fun.
guys.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
so fun.
You're welcome, Sue.
I was actually going to bring it up. I was going to
yeah.
bring it up. So you
Oh,
just beat
perfect.
me to it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, we can't let you get out of here without a little bench start cut.
No, never.
Our Susie Q special. We're gonna just start off really with a banger.
Oh, gosh.
Megan did these ones.
Gold medal, World Cup, being a junior Husky with Sue as your counselor as a kid at UConn.
I was a member of the Junior Huskies Club, I will say.
True story.
It's an elite
True
club.
story. True story.
True story. See
Oh.
it, see it, be it.
Wait, what is it again? Sit, bench, cut?
Yeah.
Bench start cut,
Bench
yeah.
start
Start
cut.
bench.
Start
However you wanna
cut. Okay. Oh, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut the Junior Huskies, which is tough to say out loud.
That feels right.
I'd say start the World Cup, bench the Olympics.
Yeah, that feels right. Okay, the last one. Scoring a goal. I can't believe we're asking these questions. Who goalkeeper? Scoring a goal, taking a PK in a knockout round, revisiting one of our all-time in-camp escape friends dinners. Like we get to go back in
Wild
time
You get to go back in time.
What a
during the
wild
Jill
card.
era and do it.
Wild card.
I don't know if I can mentally handle that. I might have to cut that one out.
That's fine. That feels fair.
Well, maybe in 20 years when we're having like a reunion and we're just reminiscing about the good
Yeah.
old days.
Ah, the best.
It's gonna be good.
Could do it anytime.
Yeah.
Scoring a goal, taking
Scoring
a
a
PK.
goal was pretty fun. I know now why you guys want to do it so badly. Like I get it. I get
Wait,
the
what
feeling.
was your
I get.
celebration? Did you have one?
Honestly, I like literally put my hands up like we scored it, and I go, "It's good, right?" I'm like,
Yeah, it was like they
was
had to
wild.
review it,
It
right?
was wild.
it was
at the end of the
well,
game.
it was like chaotic because
It
it
was
was the last
chaotic.
play of the game. There's a lot happening. He accidentally blew the whistle, which you're not supposed to do. We've got two of our girls are like down inside
Down,
the goal,
yeah.
injured. Claudio was down. We were like, so
Everybody
I'm
was
looking.
down.
I'm
Except
like,
Alyssa.
The entire second half of that game was a whole scene. It was wild.
Yeah, I mean that game was just crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I get now why you guys like to score goals. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All
PKs
right.
just sound stressful. I might
PK
that
was
might
stressful.
be I might be cutting that one.
I know.
Going
You
to
know what?
dinner.
I may have to switch those. I may have to just bench the dinner and cut the PK because that was
Yeah, get it out.
that
It's
was-
a lot.
Let's
It's a
get
lot.
the PK out of there.
Unless it
Let's
goes
bring-
in, then
let's
it's
bring
started.
dinner
Yeah,
back.
but there's no
Unless you can
guarantee.
guarantee it goes
No
in.
guarantees.
Then it's
I
a
think
start.
that might have been the highest my heart rate ever has been in by a point in any of my career.
Full stress. Lissy, thank you so much,
so much.
for joining
This
the
was great.
show. Good luck in the rest of your season.
Thank you.
2 more games, but enjoy your international break. I just love that for you.
great.
And then enjoy your what do they call it? Retirement
enjoy
celebration.
your retirement celebration at home in Connecticut. Everybody
Next week.
tune in October 26th. One of the greatest of all time is going down in the rafters, so to speak. So congratulations on that. We love you so much. Thanks for joining the show. I just love that, Alyssa, so much. I think my favorite part of the whole thing was, well, Lissy being a junior Husky, I just think is always so funny. I've been knowing that for
That's
a while,
my
but I
favorite
love
part.
every time we get to talk about it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And also just how great her last, year and year and a half was with the national team. Like we've talked about this all. You don't always get to go out exactly the way you want or on a high or in a good vibe. And I feel like she got to go out winning a gold medal in a great group, of younger kids who really embraced her and she really got to be herself and was really valued. And I just love that for her so much. So
Yeah.
that was a fun little memory lane to go down.
Yeah, Alyssa was great. And you already said it. I mean, legendary career. And speaking of legendary, we've got another player that we want to spotlight in a segment we're calling How They Got There, presented by Delta.
big congrats to Alex Morgan. She is having her U.S. Women's National Team celebration game from her retirement on Thursday when this episode drops. We're going to be there in attendance. I can't wait. I mean, her journey to me is like kind of wild. She was always like there, but she just like burst onto the scene. She came out of UC Berkeley. She's a California kid, but Southern California kid. She came onto the scene at Berkeley, obviously great player, youth national team player, all that. But I specifically remember when Alex Morgan arrived. We were in Italy. We messed up our qualification in Mexico, so we had to do this like extra round. We like kind of almost didn't make it like to the World Cup in 2011. It was kind of wild. And we're in a freezing cold night somewhere outside of like Venice, like an hour outside of Venice. We're playing this random qualification game. It's going to be a home and away against Italy. The first leg was away. It's freezing. It's like mid-November. It's in the 90-something minute, like 90-plus minute. And Alex gets a ball down the left side of the field. And it was just her quintessential left foot across the goalkeeper in the side. We won the game. She sealed the game like in the dying moments. We came home and played in Chicago, which was even colder, and ended up qualifying. But like from that moment, like that, she just was like, well, she's a starter. Like just full stop. She just totally burst onto the scene. She was the perfect pairing for Abby also, who was, you know, really just like in her prime at that time. Completely different player. Abby's a hold up forward, obviously, you know, crazy aerial prowess. And like, it was either like you're going to double team Abby and leave Alex. And people did that for about the first half year, maybe a year. And then it was like, she had like 27 goals in a year. And then it was like, oh, we have to like, now we have to drop. And now we have to account for Alex Morgan. And she just like never looked back. And I think the other thing that was always so important and impressive, like at that time, we just weren't commercially viable the way that they are now, or the way that we were, you know, even 5 or 10 years later. And she like brought, I felt like, the sport into the spotlight because of who she is, and she was marketable to brands, and brands wanted her, and she was scoring goals, and she was doing all the things. It was like the way that you could, you know, she was like the next Mia Hamm in so many ways. And so I feel like she really brought the team into like a whole new set of eyeballs at a time when no one was like looking at us like this. And then she just continued to be a great player, year in, year out, World Cup winner, Olympic gold medalist, you know, tons of goals, tons of caps. And then obviously to have her go on and just be like as good off the field in her business ventures as she is on the field. She's just a special player in the U.S. Women's National Team history. There's no one like her. And she totally did it her own way. So I was always really, you know, honestly thankful. I mean, I loved playing with Alex. I played on the left side, and having her make those in and out runs, for me, we always had a great vibe. So I'm thankful for that. But I think the sort of like off the field, and then what she's doing with her platform now, is just super impressive, and so important for those type of people in the sports, for those ones to continue to give back and grow the sport. So big congratulations to Alex. I can't wait for her to be celebrated. Like I said, we're going to be there in attendance in Philly, and looking forward to seeing her get her flowers, because she definitely deserves it.
Just a touch more, a little bit. Just a touch more.
Yeah. Okay, now on to a touch more. For this week's a touch more, I'm gonna go first. Real quick.
Yeah, what do you got a touch more time for, Sue?
I mean, like 30 things. But for this week, I'm actually taking 2 and I'm making them 1. Angel Reese. This week, you'd be living under a rock if you did not see that Angel was the first professional athlete, along with Suni Lee, to walk the Victoria's Secret runway fashion show. But that's not what I have a touch more time for. I did want to give that a shout, though. I have a touch more time for something she said on her own podcast. And she referenced, you know, not wanting to talk to the media, feeling like she doesn't trust them, feeling like it gets manipulated, and how she'd rather get fined than talk to media. And I just thought, I just really enjoyed her acknowledging that, saying that, pointing it out. I think it's so true in the times that we live. You really have to be careful with the way things get manipulated, but even more so how they get manipulated on social media. That part to me is, I always want to bring that to attention. We have a segment called What the Headline for that reason. You can't trust everything. And in the same week that, I saw Angel make that comment, I was flipping through my Instagram. I saw Maya Rudolph on Kylie Kelsey's pod, not gonna lie, and she talked about, her character on the TV show Loot, and how as that character, as a part of that show, went on Hot Ones, where they eat the chicken wings, and they do the hot sauce and the whole thing. Yeah. And how in real life, that was for a show. She was playing a character. But because it went out on social media, of course it did, in real life, people will judge her. Because the character is kind of like this rich lady who's kind of rude and the whole thing. And she's playing that part.
Yeah.
In real life, people will come up to her and be like, yo, you were rude on Hot Ones. And she's like, no, that was a character. And to me, that just really paints the picture. What Angel is saying and what happened with Maya, it's not apples to apples, but I feel like it lives in the same category of guys, everyone, be careful how you consume. Be careful how you consume. And for those of us that are on the other side, we have to be aware of it as well. Megan, what you got to touch more time for?
I have a touch more time for celebrities running their feelings out and just becoming runners in general. Issa Rae just popped out and ran the Portland Marathon on October 5th, and she finished in 4 hours and 13 minutes, which is wild.
Wild.
That's so fast. I'm like, when did you become a runner? When do you have this time? It's amazing. And then Harry Styles, I mean, sir, you are running sub 3 hour marathons. What is happening? Where are you running? When are you training? Wow.
Wouldn't be me.
They have that's natural talent. He's elite of the non-elite professional runners. That's an elite time. And I just feel like they're running something now, and I'm here for it. And it's great for them. And I'm just really impressed and also whoa.
Would you ever run a marathon?
That's wild. I think I just have too many miles on these tires, babe. I just feel like my hip or my back or my knee, I don't know. It's I feel like I'm threatening myself with the thought of it. And then it's I cannot run for that long in a row.
You're threatening yourself with the thought of it?
Running. Yeah, I'm should I?
Whoa. I don't even.
And then I'm no,
that far.
I shouldn't. But then I see people do it and I'm well, I could do it. But then I'm could you? I don't think so. I don't think I want to.
Never?
It's a lot. I don't like running. Never? I don't like running, and especially not for 4 hours in a row, which would definitely be how long it would take me.
You could listen to 4 episodes of A Touch More. Honestly, it's probably 3 episodes because we usually go an hour 15.
That's true.
So you could do that. It's just 3.
Just pop in 1 episode of A Touch More. You'll be good.
If we were on Instagram Live, it was 1 episode.
Yeah, literally. And that's it for this week's episode. We will see you next week.
Thanks to Google Pixel for their support. If you're tired of settling for the same old phone, it might be time to switch to the Google Pixel 10. It's got the time-saving Magic Cue, which gets you the right info when you need it, a built-in camera coach that helps guide you on how to take the best pic, and the ability to generate videos of pretty much anything you can imagine with Gemini. Head to the Google Store now to learn more about how Google Pixel never settles.
Magic Cue availability varies. User 18 and up. Camera coach results may vary. Subscription required and availability varies for VO3 video generation. Users 18 and up.
Thanks to Delta for their support. When you unlock your full potential, you get to meet a version of yourself you might have never met otherwise. And as the official airline of the National Women's Soccer League, Delta Airlines is there to help connect you to your full potential, to help you grow and recognize the power you have to change yourself, your team, and the world around you. Delta is dedicated to helping you get to where you need to be, from season kickoff to the championships.